हाँ जी, क्लास चल रही है। या मल्टीपल इवेपोरेटर सिस्टम्स। सो what is the benefit of multiple evaporator system? Why does it come into existence? Now, basically, till now we have studied that in case of vapor compression systems, we usually have a single evaporator coil in our system. But in most of the commercial and industrial applications, we do not employ this system, conventional system, but we go for a multiple evaporator system. Now, what is the reason behind it? Just let me read out the passage. Now, in case we know that in a single evaporator system where the entire refrigeration load is taken by a single evaporator unit. Now, single evaporator system में क्या होता है कि सिंगल जो evaporator coil है वही सारा जो लोड है उसी के ऊपर आता है, रेफ्रिजरेशन जो लोड है जिसको हम कहते हैं रेफ्रिजरेंट लोड. But in many practical commercial and industrial applications, different temperatures are required to be maintained at different points. Now, basically, industrial या commercial applications में, if you have noticed that, you know that there is a need to maintain different temperatures at different points. Now, example is, for example, in a commercial refrigeration system, it may require to store variety of fruits. It may require a variety of fruits and vegetables and poultry products at different freezing points. And similarly, in case of big cold storage, we need to store different products and different variety of products. We need to maintain different temperature zones for that in our cold storage unit. So this thing is not possible by using a single evaporator coil. Now, in such cases, each location is refrigerated by its own evaporator to obtain more flexibility of temperature and humidity control. Now, this demands the necessity of multiple evaporator system. So, this is the basic requirement of multiple evaporator system. Now, here in this diagram, you can see here in this system, we have a single compressor unit, we have a single condenser unit, but we have a three different evaporator coils. This is EP1 is a evaporator coil number 1, EP2 is coil number 2, EP3 is evaporator coil number 3. But in this case, all the three coils are maintained at the same temperature. So basically, why we need a multiple evaporator coils? Because in industrial applications or in many commercial applications, we need to maintain different temperatures at different points because it may be required for the specific applications. And as we have quoted the example of if we want to store fruits, different variety of fruits or poultry items. So all these items, they have a different freezing points. So how you will maintain different temperature and different freezing points, different temperatures for how you can able to maintain different zones for these to store these vegetables or fruits and poultry items. So for that we cannot do it with a single evaporator coil. For that we need a multiple evaporators. So this is the main basic. This demands the basic this necessity of multiple evaporator system. Now we have a basically in our syllabus we have three types of evaporator systems. ये आगे आ गया जरा एक मिनट. कौन कौन से हैं? The types of multiple evaporator system is, first one is a multiple evaporators at the same temperatures with single compressor and expansion valve. So first one is जिसमें कि अभी मैंने आपको डायग्राम में दिखाया कि उसमें एक ही कंप्रेसर होगा और एक ही एक्सपेंशन वाल्व होगा, लेकिन एवोपरेटर्स जो हैं कॉइल्स डिफरेंट होंगी, ये डिफरेंट एवोपरेटर्स हो सकते हैं उसमें. सेकंड केस में क्या हो सकता है? देयर आर मल्टीपल एवोपरेटर्स विच आर मेंटेन एट डिफरेंट टेम्परेचर्स with compressor, single compressor but different individual expansion valves along with back pressure valves. So it is obvious, quite obvious, that if we want to maintain different, we want to maintain the expansion and this evaporator, different evaporator coils at different temperature, it is very customary that we need a different expansion valves, and also for each individual expansion this corresponding to individual this evaporator coil, we also need a back pressure valve. Now I will tell you what is the significance of back pressure valve later on. Now the last case is multiple evaporator at different temperatures with individual compressors and expansion valves. Now in the last case, which this is the most advanced you can say system, in which each evaporator coil is having its own compressor and its own expansion valve. The first case is the multiple evaporators with single compressor and expansion valves. Now this system is mostly used when there are variety of products that is required to be stored in different compartments but at the same temperatures. Now the arrangement is consists of three evaporator coils, which is EP1, EP2 and EP3, which is shown in the diagram. Now let us observe the diagram. What is the diagram? Now here we have a single compressor unit, we have a single condenser, but we have a three coils, evaporator coils. Now the refrigerant is this liquid refrigerant coming from the condenser. It is throttled from this single expansion valve. Now when it is obvious when we release this refrigerant in from high pressure to low pressure region. Now this is the high side, this is the low side. Now obviously there is a single pressure differential. यहाँ पे सभी जितने भी operators हैं, they are all maintained at a single pressure. So obviously we can create a single temperature zone over here. So all these three different evaporators coils, they will be maintained at the same temperature. We cannot change the temperature. But what is the application of this is just we can provide the different compartments for different products. So this is the most generalized generalized configuration of multiple evaporator system. You can say we have just break up the big evaporator into two or more smaller units. So this is the first expansion, first example of this. Now this is the pressure enthalpy diagram. Now you can see here from 1 to 2 we have compressed this is the compressor and this compression work. 2 to 3 is a condenser work. Here is the expansion. 4 to 1 is a refrigerant effect. Now come back to this. Now let us say we have Q1, Q2, Q3 are the loads on each evaporator coil, that is EP1, EP2 and EP3 respectively in terms of refrigeration. Then the mass of refrigerant required to circulate through each evaporator coil is given by M1 is given by 210 Q1 by H1 minus H4. What is H1? Here H1, this is H1 minus H4. So this is same for everyone. Similarly, M2 is 210 Q2 by H1 minus H4. M3 is 210 by H1 minus H4. So where M is the total mass of refrigerant which is circulating inside the circuit. So total mass is M1 plus M2 plus M3, which is in kg per minute. And work done or work that is required in the compressor unit is mass times H2 minus H1. So all these formulas are almost same. Here there is nothing change in this case. So this is the first example of multiple evaporator system. Now let us come back to the second example. Any question regarding this? Any question?
No, sir.
No question. Let me take the exam. Your attendance first. Only 13 students. Okay, now second example is multiple evaporators at different temperature with single compressor या same compressor but different expansion valves and back pressure valves. Now this is the actual diagram of this case. It has a single compressor, it is a single condenser, but it has a multiple expansion valves. So this is expansion valve 1, expansion valve 2, expansion valve 3. Similarly, this is evaporator coil 1, evaporator 2, evaporator 3. Now there are two back pressure valves also connected here over here with evaporator 2. This is back pressure valve 2 and back pressure valve 3. Now let us look into the pressure enthalpy diagram. Now we start from the point 1. Now 1 to 2 we have compressed the refrigerant vapors. From 1 to 2 we have compressed, then we have condensed the vapors. So 3 to 4 is a expansion process in expansion valve number. So 3 to 4 is expansion for evaporator 3. Similarly 4 to 10 is an expansion for evaporator coil number 2. And similarly 7 to 10 is a expansion for evaporator coil for EP1. Now this is a total refrigerating effect produced, which is equal to this plus this plus this. Now you can see here, after the liquid refrigerant you can say it is coming out from the, after it we get all the refrigeration effect from it, and when it comes out from the evaporator, the first one EP1 reaches to 0.1. It is the 0.11 is corresponding to 0.1. So both these points are coinciding, but the vapors which are coming from the second evaporator coil, that is this, the vapors coming from this, they have a pressure which is corresponding to this point. This is PE2. This is a evaporator pressure 2, which is corresponding to 0.8. So it is somewhat higher than the pressure which is being released from EP1. Similarly, the evaporator, the vapors coming from evaporator number 3, they are also at the highest pressure, which is corresponding to 0.5. So we need to combine all these vapors in a single line, but we can't do this because it has a higher pressure, it has an intermediate pressure, and it has a lowest pressure. So to just to reduce the pressure from 5 to 6 and from 8 to 9, we have mounted the back pressure valves. So basically the function of the back pressure valve is to reduce the pressure further up to the base pressure of the refrigerant. So यहाँ पे देखो ये ऑलरेडी E1 का जो evaporator coil 1 जो है, इसका pressure तो ऑलरेडी जो है it is corresponding to the suction pressure of the this compressor, but other two coils have a higher pressure. So we have mounted this back pressure valve over here and here. So this pressure, the function of this valve is to reduce the pressure further so that we can just mix all the refrigerants in the same line. So this is the function. Now let us look into the theory part. Now we can observe that the mass of refrigerant coming out from third evaporator is at pressure PE3, which is shown by vertical line 5 to 6. So where is the 5 to 6? Here is a 5 to 6 I have shown you. Similarly, it is further throttled in the back pressure valve till its pressure becomes to the pressure of EP1. Similarly, the refrigerant coming out from the second evaporator is at pressure PE2. It is further throttled in back pressure valve, vertical line 8 to 9, till its pressure also becomes equalized with the EP1. So we have equalized both the pressures up to the pressure of evaporator coil number 1. Finally, the refrigerants leaving the back pressure valves are they are at 0.6 and 9 are mixed together along with the refrigerants leaving the evaporator coil number 1, which is corresponding to the suction pressure of the compressor. the final condition is shown by point 1 and the enthalpy at this point is given by, now H1 total enthalpy at this point is m mass of refrigerant crossing the first coil into enthalpy H1 plus m2 into H2 plus m3 into H3 by m1 plus m2 plus m3. So total work done is given by mass times H2 minus H1. बनाता है?
हाँ जी सर पूरे महीने दे आ गए जी
HD zone ਦੇ ਹੀ ਇਹਨੂੰ ਫੋਟੋ ਖਿੱਚ ਕੇ
ਮੈਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਹੀ ਰੱਖ ਲਓ
ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਬਸ ਮੈਡਮ ਨੂੰ ਫੜਾਇਆ ਤੂੰ
ਅੱਛਾ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕਰ ਦੇ ਸਰ
ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਹੈ
हाँ टोटल बन गया पूरे महीने का बनाते हैं ना फिर यही अगले महीने च कंटिन्यू हो जाएगा
आज 12 होंगे ना
और
दोबारा खींच रहे हैं उन्हें समझा भी दें ना समझाया कुछ
हाँ जी सेंड कर दो जी
hello so the final condition is shown by H1 total enthalpy, sorry this is H1, this is should be H. Total enthalpy is mass into enthalpy 1 mass into enthalpy 2 at point 2 and mass into enthalpy 3 divided by total mass. So work done is given by mass times H2 minus H1. Let us see where is H, where is H. So there is H1 minus ओके मास इज H2 माइनस वर्क डन इज H2 माइनस H1. सो कंप्रेसर तो एक ही है ना, तो ऑब्वियसली यहाँ से 2 माइनस H2 माइनस H1 इज द टोटल कंप्रेसर वर्क एंड जो टोटल रेफ्रिजरेटिंग इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस किया है वो इन तीनों को ऐड करना है हमने. सो सिमिलरली रेफ्रिजरेटिंग इफेक्ट इज मास m टाइम H11 माइनस H10 H8 माइनस H7 H5 माइनस H4. ये देखो यहाँ पे H10 माइनस H11 H8 minus H7 H5 minus H4. So this is the refrigerating effect, and you can then find out the COP of the system. Is it clear to everyone? Any question? Any question regarding multiple evaporator system? Because I am going to finish this section today, and we will start with the vapor compression system from tomorrow onwards. Any question? अब बोलो, एनी क्वेश्चन, इंटरेक्ट विद मी.
नो सर.
तुम सुनते हो सो जाते हो वैसे खोल के?
सुन रहे हो.
ये तो बड़े सुस्त से लग रहे हो, तुम्हारे नाते नोते नहीं सोते. ओके अटेंडेंस लो मुझे, कौन कौन है. 702 है अनुराग.
703 सर.
ओके 703 है अनुपम राज. एंड 4 5 6 7 8 9 कोई
7
सर 5
5 कल्पा ज्योति है. ओके परमवीर सिंह भी है मेरे ख्याल, उसके डाया हुआ. परमवीर है?
नहीं सर.
नहीं है. प्रणीत
सर 18
प्रणीत है.
सर 07
7 है. प्रिंस त्यागी है? नहीं है. रोहित कुमार गुप्ता है? 9. 10 है. 11 12
सर
13 अंकित सिंह.
हाँ जी.
14 भी नहीं है. 15 16 19 ऑर्गेन है कि नहीं है ऑर्गेन?
Present, sir.
ओके 21 विवेक सिंह
Yes, sir. Again,
हो गया सुमित भी है मैं कहना सुमित की अटेंडेंस है भी है ओके सो दिस इज द सेकंड केस नाउ थर्ड केस इज द मल्टीपल इवेपोरेटर कहाँ है ओके लास्ट जो है इसमें मैंने स्कैन नहीं हुआ मुझसे वो सो लास्ट केस में इन केस ऑफ आवर लास्ट part which is in this case the difference is that we have individual compressor and individual expansion valve for each and every evaporator coil so this configuration में इसमें benefit क्या है कि since we have mounted the individual compressor we can maintain a differential pressures. Let us say in one evaporator coil we need very low temperature so corresponding to that temperature we have to maintain a very high pressure differential so we need a very powerful compressor for corresponding to that coil and similarly another coil which does not require very low temperature we can mount a compressor somewhat of lower power and similarly we can mount another compressor of intermediate power to create a differential temperatures so this configuration is useful when the temperature differential is very large. So this type of systems are rarely used because it involves lot of cost but for they are used for specific applications. तो ये इसका डायग्राम देख लेना बस क्योंकि इसमें एग्जाम्स में किसी में न्यूमेरिकल्स तो नहीं आया लेकिन इसकी थ्योरी जरूर आती है तो फर्स्ट दो है इनकी थ्योरी तो आई जाती है तो ये देख लेना एंड फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट क्लास वी विल स्टार्ट विद द वेपर एब्जॉर्प्शन सिस्टम सो पढ़ के आना थोड़े सारा समझ आ गया सबको From tomorrow onwards, we will start vapor absorption system. उसमें भी numerical part नहीं है, only theory part है. So we will try to complete that part in 2 days, and thereafter we will do the ultra low refrigeration systems. So in another 1 day we can Saturday को देखेंगे अगर class नहीं करेंगे तो Saturday लगा लेंगे.